the right plant in the right place is really important for gardening success. And the plant tags that you find at the store can be very helpful in making sure that you do that in your yard or your garden. This is Rhonda Ferree with the University of Illinois Extension. I've collected a number of plant labels over the years that I've used in my yard. You can see I have them in bags, or for these perennials, I have them on a little metal ring so that I can look at them and really refer to that information later. I find that's actually really helpful. These are woody plants that I've planted in my yard that are on a bread tie. Or sometimes for the annual plants, like maybe vegetables or herbs or flowers, I'll put them on a little stake and just put them right down into the garden. You'll find that there's lots of information on these plant tags, but it can be somewhat confusing, especially, it varies by plant type, of course, but also by plant grower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the plant tags and that you'll use when you're purchasing plants and try to show you what I look at when I'm purchasing plants. When growing perennials or woody plants I want to keep from year to year, it's important to check the plant's growing zone or what temperature it will grow in best. Annuals are replaced each year, so the zone isn't a major factor. Here are several shrub and then one tree tag that I actually have planted in my yard. And you'll notice that the rhododendron one here, actually, if I turn it over, it shows that the hardiness is minus 20 degrees, which doesn't tell me a whole lot. It doesn't tell me the actual zone. Some of these others give the actual hardiness zone, and I live in zone 5. So if I look at this pink flowering almond, for example, it shows that it is actually zone 4 to 8, and the yew up here is zones 4 to 7. So all these plants will work in my growing zone. For perennial woody plants, it's important to note the mature size as well. I always want to choose a plant that's going to fit in its final space. So if I look at this Japanese maple tag here, which I've had this plant a few years, if I open it up, it's going to actually say that either in kind of a photo size chart there or in words down here, it says that it will reach. It reaches a height of about 18 to 20 feet tall and 10 to 12 feet wide in about 20 years. And so I planted it in a place where it can reach that size without interfering from plants or structures. The next thing I look on plant tags for is the light requirements. For this Japanese maple example, I actually was planting it in my shade garden. My shade garden gets a little bit of sunlight, about 4 to 6 hours of sunlight a day. And so I had to pick a plant that would grow in partial shade, part sun. And you can see here on this Japanese maple, it says that it will grow in partial shade. Here are some guidelines for plant tag lighting terminology. A full sun plant needs 6 to 8 hours of sun per day. A part sun to part shade plant needs 4 to 6 hours of light per day. And then a full shade plant is going to need 4 hours or less of sun a day. Ideally, that would be in the morning. We might also want to look at some of the special features that we can use when we're choosing the right plant for the right place. In the example of the Japanese maple, I wanted a plant that had interest in all 4 seasons. And this label does a really nice job of outlining that. It shows at the top spring, and spring interest is that it has a slightly golden to pink tinged spring leaves that emerge. In the summer, it has nice firm green leaves, but then also some red samaras that develop. Some other special features you might look for would be deer proofing, like you can see on this Linton Rose, or maybe on this Calibrachoa. It shows that it is drought tolerant, heat tolerant, and also doesn't require much deadheading. So other features that you can look for. When purchasing tomatoes, you may have noticed acronyms on the tags. They refer to the plant's resistance to various plant diseases. As you can see here, there are many, but the most commonly seen are V for verticillium wilt resistance and F for fusarium wilt. You can find more information on how to select the right plant for the right place in your yard or garden on the University of Illinois Extension website shown here. Or you can post questions and see other gardening tips on one of my IL River Hort social media sites serving Fulton, Mason, Peoria, and Tazewell counties.